everybody, and welcome to Storm Reads. And today I am going to be doing my wrap up for the week, the 25th through the 31st. And I'm also going to go ahead and combine what I'm reading, currently reading on this, instead of separating it out, because tomorrow I'm wanting to put up my August TBR. So I'm just going to smush these together, especially since I didn't read that much as I've had the last couple of weeks. So this last week I only read 4 books, which isn't bad. Compared to the other two, it's like not very many, but because I read so much, I'm really fine with what I read. And so the first one I have to talk about is a ski spy school by Stuart Gibbs, and this is number 4 in the Spy School series. And in this one, Ben and some of his fellow students get activated to go on a mission. The principal of the school isn't happy about Ben getting activated because Ben's not really on his good list right at the moment because of things that happened with the previous book. But anyway, they need him, and so they're activating him, and they need some of the other ones to go with him just to kind of be like people that are around so they can just kind of watch what's going on. But there is a Chinese businessman who is coming to America, and he's bringing his daughter, and they're going on a ski vacation. The thing is that Chinese man is is some kind of a bad guy, and they are pretty sure that he is rendezvousing here for something, but they're not quite sure what. But since he's bringing his daughter with him as kind of a rouge of it being a vacation, they think that maybe Ben can get close to her and try to find out information about what this guy has planned. And of course, things don't ever go according to plan and everything, but it was pretty interesting and I enjoyed it. I give it 3 stars. This is just kind of a fun, quirky kind of spy novel for kids, and I'm really enjoying the series so far. And the next book I have is Slashing Through the Snow by Jacqueline Frost, and this is number 3 in the Christmas Tree Farm series. And I have been waiting so very long for this to come out. It's been like 2 years since she has wrote any of the other ones in the series, so I was afraid there for a while that maybe we weren't going to get any more, but she was finally give the go-ahead to make another one for this series, so I'm excited. And I hope there's going to be more. I hope this isn't just going to be the last one, because you never know with cozy mysteries. It's like kind of from one year to the next if they're going to be able to keep going in the series, or if the publishers cut them off, or however it is. So in this one, it's Christmas time, of course, which means that it is full swing in mistletoe with Reindeer Games Christmas Tree Farm, and run by Holly's parents. This time they have an inn, because in the last book they were building an inn, so this time they have the inn, and Holly is running the inn. And of course, in the process of all this happening, all this good stuff happening, somebody dies, and then one of Holly's friends is accused of murder, and so she has to sleuth to figure out who it was. The only thing I will say about this is, in the very beginning, I was a little worried that it was going to be too predictable on who the murderer was and what was happening. I was just like, man, I hope it's not going to be this, predictable. But I will have to say that I did not figure it out. The author did a whole big twist there at the end, and I was just like, oh, I didn't even see that coming. So yeah, so it was super good, and I enjoyed it, and I gave it 5 stars. And then the next book I have is Will You Remember Me by Hannah Mary McKinnon. This is a thriller, and it is about a man who has amnesia. He wakes up on the beach, and he has no clue how he got there, or who he is, or where he's from, or anything. He's working with just some clues that he has, and he finds a phone number, and it's like, or he can kind of remember some. Anyway, he's got like something to work with. I can't remember, but it's some numbers, and he ends up getting a hold of a lady who knows him, and she's calling him Ash, but he thinks his name's Brad because on his watch, in the inside of the inscription says Brad. So he doesn't think that she knows what she's talking about. And then there's also another lady who's looking for him. And you find out that one of them is this guy's sister and the other was the guy's girlfriend. The only thing is the girlfriend calls him Jack, and Maya, the sister, calls him Asher. And so you're like, are these two different people that they think is this one person, or is it just the one person at first? You're not really quite sure. And I pretty much had this pegged from, like, not even halfway in. I knew exactly pretty much how it was going to go. And that just kind of really put it down a peg. And I was just like, oh, this is, like, super predictable. Now, there is a small twist at the end, but it doesn't twist the right way. I did not like how it ended. There is a certain thing in my books that I have to have at the end, and I didn't have it in this book, and I can't really say without spoiling. So, but just know that you may like the ending and you may not. It depends on how you go with things. Some people probably don't care. I did not like it. And it dropped it down, so I gave it 2 stars. I was gonna give it 3 stars until the end, and then it got 2 stars because I just did not like how it ended and everything. But it happens. And then the last book I finally finished. Yay! I finally finished Lady Wicked by Scarlett Scott. And it's not that I didn't enjoy it, it's just that I kept pushing it back and reading other things. But I'm like, you know what? It is the end of the month and I have got to finish this. So I did. I finished it last night. But I got through it, and it's not my favorite in the series. I'd probably give it 3 stars. This is the 4th book in the Notorious Ladies of London series. And this one is a second chance romance, and it's kind of a marriage of convenience, and it's got the secret baby thing going on. It's just got a lot of stuff going on. But Lord Shelbourne and Lady Julianne they known each other previously. Julianne fell in love with him when she was like about 16. He is her friend's brother, and so he also liked her, but he's older than her, and so he just kind of just tried not to pay attention to her until one day he catches her swimming in the lake, and that kind of gets things started because she's only like in her undergarments or whatever, and then they kind of start seeing each other a little bit kind of secretly and everything, and then they have one night together, and then he's wanting to marry her, but she's seen something that, and instead of asking him about it, she just thinks badly of him. And so whenever he wants to marry her, she says no, and then she ends up running off to America. And so she's been in America for 2 years. And there's also an incident where he went after her and went to America, but he saw something, and instead of asking her about what was going on and everything and confronting her, his pride is wounded, and he goes home and pretty much drinks himself into oblivion for like the 2 years. And now she's back because she has an agenda. She needs somebody to marry because she found out that her uncle is giving her some money, but only if she's married. The only thing is that she has a young child with her. Because, yeah. And so they get thrust back together, and they've got to try to make things where it's not going to be a scandal or anything like that. And then it's just about them trying to talk to each other so that they can realize that they're both still in love with each other, but things happened and they didn't ask about it, and now they each think badly of the other and all these kind of things. And yeah, it was okay. It was just, I don't know, it was just like, if y'all would have talked about it at the beginning and just said things, this probably wouldn't ever happen to begin with. But then there would be a story, I guess. But yeah, so I mean, it was okay. Like I said, 3 stars. And that's all the books that I read. So the books that I'm currently working on. So spoiler for my August TBR, because you'll see some of the things on here. This one I've been working on. So this one is like a holdover from July, and that's The Mailman by Bentley Little. I was supposed to have this done like yesterday, and I just didn't get it done. I am 58% into it, so I'm almost there. So hopefully I can get this wrapped up really quick so that I can get on to the books that are in my August DVR. So I'll work on this tonight, and then hopefully at least be finished by tomorrow. This is about a creepy mailman. It's a horror story, so yeah, it's a creepy mailman. And basically at the beginning of the story, the mailman that they normally had in this town is supposed to have committed suicide, and the postmaster is trying to find a new mailman. And then all of a sudden, one night, like, they started getting mail and everything, so like, oh, that we must have a new mailman. But the thing is the mail that they're getting isn't normal mail. Like, they're getting good things, or they're getting told good things or whatever at the beginning anyway. And then they're not getting any bills or anything like that. Everybody kind of has a creepy vibe about the mailman, so like, and they're pretty sure that there's something wrong with the mailman and he's doing things. And then eventually everything goes to where people are getting some bad mail and everything too, and so they're pity. It's like the mailman and the mail that's is pitting neighbor against neighbor and things like that. You poisoned my dog. You did this. You did that. You know, things like that. And it's okay. I think it's a lot like Needful Things by Stephen King. And the reason it is, you know, is because they were actually both published in the same year, in 1991. The only Bentley Little did it first, but I don't know if a lot of people have probably read The Mailman by Bentley Little, and so nobody would know that. So then everybody's like, you know, well, it sure is a lot like Needful Things. Well, he did it first. It's just nobody knows about it. This one was published in January of 1991. Needful Things was published in October of 1991. So it's just one of those kind of quirky things that happens where two horror authors write something that's kind of similar. But it's okay. And I have started the audiobook for Arsenic and Adobo by Mia P. Monasala. And this is #1 in the Tina Rose, I think it's Tita Rosie's Kitchen, I think, #1. Anyway. And, oh, here we go. It says on the front, yeah. Tita Rosie's Kitchen, a Tita Rosie's Kitchen mystery. So, yeah. And this is about a Filipino family who run a restaurant, and at the restaurant, somebody dies, and so the main character, whose name I cannot remember, is accused of murdering the guy because he was an ex-boyfriend, and then he was also a food critic and things, and so it just seems like that she might have done it. There was arsenic in his food, and they think since she was there when it happened that she's the one that did it. And I'm not very far into it. I think I'm like 20% or something like that. Let's see. Oh, no, I'm farther. I'm 30% into it. So far, it's kind of different than most cozies, but not too different that it's not likable. I'm enjoying it. And I'm curious to see where it goes. And then some things that I'm slowly working my way through. I'm still working on Oliver Twist. I didn't get to read any of it on it last week, so I'm still pretty much in the same spot. But it is an audiobook that I am listening to and following along with, and it's just something that I just want to get finished. But if I don't get it done, I'm not, I'm just kind of working on it a little bit at a time. And another one of those kind of like that is The Devil's Workshop by Alex Grecian. I'm slowly working my way through this one, and again, I had these other ones that I needed to concentrate on and get out, so I didn't really pay that much attention to it. I think I read one section that I had tabbed off, and so I want to try to work on this one more. And this is number 3 in the Scotland Yard Murder Squad series, and I really enjoy this series. I read physical copies a lot slower, and so I figured that if I just like split it up a little bit and read a little bit at a time, that I will get through it. It's one of the books that's on my series about series list, and I've been concentrating on all of the audiobooks and ebooks and things like that, and this is the only physical books that I have. This whole series I have in physical form, so I just need to start trying to read a little bit on it. And that's everything that I am currently reading. So just a couple books that I have on my radar that I would like to get to next is Cajun Kitchen. I can't speak. Cajun Kiss of Death by Ellen Byron. This is number 7 in the Cajun Country series, and this one, it's Valentine and Pelican, and I think there's a celebrity chef and something happens, and I think somebody she knows is accused. I don't know if it's her. Oh yeah. And JJ, the proprietor of Junie's Oyster Bar, which is one of her friends, is accused of the murder. So, of course, then Maggie's going to have to sleuth. And there is my favorite dog, Gopher, right there on the cover. I love him. He's so cute. So that's the only book that I think is something that I might want to get to after I finish with, like, the Mailman or Arsenic and Adobo. We'll see. And I'm sure I have some audiobooks that I'll be listening to too. I'm not sure exactly which one that I'm going to get to. But anyway, that's all I have for today. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.